Hello everybody, going to have a short discussion here about toys at trials. Toys are excellent rewards and give us a lot of benefit as handlers with our dogs. The benefits include everything that comes from cooperative play. Cooperative play could be tugging, cooperative play could be retrieving, cooperative play could be combinations of those two. Lots of different things that we can do with toys with our dogs at trials to help reward them for a job well done, connect them to us, essentially team up with the dog. There is a different level of arousal that happens in the dog with play that really isn't achieved in any other equal way. Some dogs with super high food drive also will come up in significant arousal, but toys are a big factor. With toys, there has to be some consideration as to how and where and when you're using those. Safety concerns and just respect to your fellow exhibitors. In a perfect world, you would be able to play with your dog anywhere, anytime, and all the other dogs around you would have sufficient impulse control to realize that your dog and your dog's toy and you have nothing to do with them. But that's not the case. We're not going to be in a perfect world. You are going to be attending trials where there are a variety of dog breeds with different balances of drives that you may not even be aware of. If you're a Border Collie owner, you may know nothing about a typical Rottweiler or a Terrier or a Lab. Like, if you don't have experience with certain dog breeds and you're not an expert on temperament and drives, you're not going to know automatically that what you are doing with your dog is having a negative effect on somebody else's dog. And that's what we kind of want to be able to do, is to use our toys, but also be considerate. So let me just set these guys down. So first rule of thumb, if you need to connect with your dog and you want to play with your dog, check the space around you. Are you playing in an area where there is at least a buffer zone of 6 to 10 feet between you and the dog next to you? So warm-up jump areas for agility, perfect spot for toy play. If you are within 10 feet of a ring, probably not the best place to be playing very highly arousing games with your dog. That's basically courteousness for the person that's in the ring with their current dog. If you think you need a few moments of tug before you go into the ring and it's your turn, perfect opportunity for that is to wait till the dog ahead of you is finishing its closing line and you're about to enter in. And especially if we're talking about agility, there are some super leashes that are essentially made to be able to tug your dog into the ring. That's absolutely fine. Your dog should not have to be tugging with you if it's waiting 6 dogs deep in line. Which is another point. You don't need to be there that early. So really, there's a dog in the ring, the dog on deck. I'm speaking agility. And then 2 or 3 dogs lined up is fine. That's more than enough time to get your dog into the ring. Other sports are going to have a same thing, a different amount of time it takes for something to be completed. Even though something like Fast Cat has, greyhounds, high 4s, low 5 seconds, zoom. But remember, you have to have time for the person to set in, the timer to be ready, the dog to run, the dog to be caught, and the dog to leave. So it's typical for a Fast Cat run to take a minute per dog, and sometimes more if there's an issue with the lure. If you're doing rally and you are the 8th dog in line, you're going to have up to sometimes 2 minutes per dog ahead of you. You really don't want to be waiting in line for 16 minutes. That's a long time. So one of the factors with branching off a little bit with exhibitors is we're usually very, very nervous and we want to be on time and there's pressure to get into the ring on time. You don't need to have your dog so close to the action so soon. It will alleviate a lot of stress on you, the dog, and the people around you. If I'm in line and I only have 3 or 4 dogs around me, that's only, I have to pay attention to my dog, but I only have to be aware of 3 or 4 other dogs. If it's jam crowded with a bunch of dogs and people, problems are going to be more likely to occur because you're putting more animals, more people in the same square footage. People are going to be getting too close. So when I have to use my toys, I do like to take my toys over to the warm-up jump because typically that is further away from the ring, and raise the dog's arousal a little bit with that and work some skills on that warm-up jump, not only warming up the dog's body, but skills I may need on that course. Spend some time over there, then I can take a couple of seconds and either decide to go directly from the warm-up jump, if I'm timing it correctly, to my place in line, or do the warm-up jump, and if I haven't timed it really well, give space to everybody else and just, take my dog for a little walk. It's fine. I'm not going to cool my dog's brain down that quickly. I can quickly bring that back up. Most dogs can come into drive with a tug toy like immediately. So it's not like you need minutes and minutes and minutes of tugging. When I go to enter the ring, I like to place my toys near the ring, but not next to the ring. So that I can exit the ring, go over and pick up my toys or my food pouch if I'm using food. And then I'm going to take the dog and the toys to an area away from the crowdedness before I play. Now, in busy venues, that might mean if it's indoors that I pick up my toy and then I go outside before I start my reward event. I can mark the dog for a job well done and teach it that there is a delay between leaving the ring and engaging the toy. Now, some dogs do come out of the ring quite hot and might need a few seconds of tugging on the leash, but you should be able to let that dog unload a little bit, and the activity, the main sport is over. They're done chasing the lure, they're done with the agility of course, they're coming off the dock, they're coming out of the obedience ring. The main focus and drive is now completed. So you're in the reward phase. So teaching your dog that it's okay to have a little bit of a delay between the action and their reward allows them to clear their head a little bit and then engage in the type of tugging that's a little bit more cooperative. So I'm going to stop this tape for a second, and then I'm going to talk about the difference between cooperative play and reactive play.